You can't go home again. Generally, when you hear this, someone is saying you can't go back to who you used to be. You can't return to a place from your past and expect it not to have changed, because things do change. People change. People grow. In our minds, we have a specific idea of people, places, experiences, and remembering these can produce a range of emotions depending on the memory or how we feel about the memory: joy, anger, sorrow, nostalgia. We want to go back to how things were, but we can't. There is also the possibility that even if we could, we might learn that things weren't quite as good as we remember. That is what we are going to be talking about today on the Videocast: what goes into constructing memories, how we respond to the past, and the ways nostalgia can warp our perception of it. As always, I'm your host Brian, and this video is part of a series exploring the themes of my book, The Nostalgia Economy, which you can get access to over on our Patreon, patreon.com/pixandportraits. $5, you can read or listen to the ebook and audiobook and get access to dozens of exclusive videos. Physical copies are now available for purchase as well. I'll post a link in the description. You can also visit our website, pixandportraits.com. The book is all about collecting, retro collecting. So far, we've looked at that a lot. Collecting, the financial investment, how it's changed, why and how people do it, what they put into it emotionally. A big reason, especially in retro collecting, is nostalgia. These items remind us of the good times we've had. We put those memories into these items, they come to represent them. Living with memories, we construct our own versions or visions of the past. These environments we can and do mentally revisit, populated with the people from those times, or at least our interpretation of them. We cast them in roles specific to our experience, sometimes what we want or need them to be rather than who they really were. Perception, time has a very funny way of glossing over a lot of things. We tend to forget or sometimes accentuate both negative and positive aspects of our experiences, looking back on a period as perfect, with blinders on, focusing only on what we want to remember, ignoring what we don't. Nostalgia. Nostalgia is weird. It often gets associated with good times, good feelings, but I see it as more of a negative response. I think remembering the good old days, believing things used to be better, is such an awful way of looking at the world. I am still relatively young, and I've enjoyed the process of aging, but it's been very weird watching people my age get old. Old is not a number, but a way of thinking. I guess people forget it wasn't that long ago that I was young, but I've seen people my age come at the current generation mockingly, as if we didn't do and say all sorts of ridiculous and stupid things. And that goes for every generation. People remember the way they felt, their youth, a future's worth of possibilities, and it is that they are tapping into when feeling nostalgic. The same goes for bad times. Not discounting trauma, but it is very easy to hyperfixate on embarrassing stuff you said or did, rather than, say, forgiving yourself for making mistakes, which is hard, growing, learning, being afraid to revisit a period, a version of yourself because you grew out of it, grieving who we used to be. When I started working on the book, the project, the working title was Nostophobia, the fear of returning home. People suffer from this. They can't go back to where they live after work because their anxieties won't let them. They're afraid of what is waiting there for them, so they put it off, they drive around, they avoid going home. I was using it more along the lines of the fear of confronting memories, who you used to be, due to the possibility that maybe it's not what you think it is. You can't go home again. The book is full of people who have constructed their own histories, who live in their memories. One character escapes into them because their present isn't what they want it to be or what they thought it would be. Another uses their past experience, what they've told themselves was their experience, to build up their current self. But what goes into making a memory? Obviously, an event, something happens, but memories happen in time, and time is measured in aesthetics. Aesthetics inform memories, how they look, even how they are remembered, depending on when they were made. These aesthetics can help us recall and remember events, other memories. We associate memories with the time period they were made, and anything from that time period has the potential to bring us back. We hear a song, see a movie, or even smell something that warps us back to a specific time and place, maybe a person or people. These people can be gone, passed on, or just out of our lives, but they are stuck to that time. We can still know them, they can still be in our lives, but we are imagining them as they were, who we thought they were. This constructed version of the past is nice, it's safe, we are in control of it. How it is, how we feel about it, how it acts or how we act in it, it feels real, but that doesn't mean it is. When trying to revisit someplace from your past, you may be disappointed. All your friends are not waiting for you at the mall. Most of the stores are closed. The house you grew up in was smaller than you remember. Reconnecting with people, your crush wasn't perfect, or maybe even good. Members of your family can be pretty mean. The world you grew up in is gone. Now, all of this sounds very negative, and I don't want to end on that note, because the point I'm trying to get across isn't that your memories are wrong and the past was trash. Everything is subjective. People reconnect all the time, grow separately, and connect on new levels. Sometimes you do stumble into environments that feel like time warps. A few years ago, I was in a small town and stumbled into a video store still renting VHS, and I did feel like I traveled back in time. I was home again. But with years of reflection, it's easy to look back and see the past as better, but that's not entirely true. When we set out to make these memories that we hold so dear, we weren't trying, we were just living, experiencing, and we are still living, still making memories we will look back on one day and say, hey, those were good times. I don't know. Maybe I'm off base here. Let me know in the comments what you think. If this is the kind of thing that you're into, or collecting, give the nostalgia economy a shot. $5 gets you access to it, as well as a ton of exclusive content, and helps keep all this going. So if you like what we do and want to help make it happen, please consider supporting us. Patreon.com/PicsandPortraits. As always, thank you so much for your interest in this channel, and thanks for watching. See you in the future.